Hello, wealthy family, and welcome to today's Mindset Monday. This is Chanel, Ascending Infinite Goddess, your favorite angel oracle. Hope my mic stay where it is. I'm using my mic tonight because my house is loud. I have children, so hopefully this mic is doing what it's supposed to do and cancel out the noise in the background. But one second. Sorry about that. In light of today being Memorial Day, I wanted to talk about what are some things that you are memorializing about yourself. What is it that you're allowing to stay cemented in the fragments of the memories of your mind? Because one of my favorite cards in one of my oracle decks is that the memories that you create are the only things that you take with you when you leave. That's it. You can't take anything else. Your soul has these memories ingrained, these experiences ingrained. The more emotional, entangled they are, the more ingrained, the more memorialized they are in your mind. And sometimes, as we are going through our experiences here on this earthly plane, we can dredge up certain memories that are not favorable to us, that don't serve us. So it's important for you to constantly reevaluate the storylines, the timelines that are playing in your head. This past week, I've had a very I don't know, shadow week. A very shadow week. I've been having a lot of epiphanies, right? If you know spirituality, you know shadow work is never complete. I don't care who you are, where you are, how long you've been spiritual or awakened or enlightened or whatever. Shadow work never stops because it's not just shadow work for this lifetime. You have shadow works for previous lifetimes. You have shadow work for your ancestors. Like there's always something that is coming up, always. So I was having a lot of epiphanies about the mental traumas that I have been through in my life. Like nothing wild and, nothing wild and crazy and exaggerative. I'm not going to name anything because I don't want to trigger anyone. But, my fair trauma. Now, we're not going to sit here and compare traumas. You should never do that because something that you feel could be normal or something minute, someone else can experience it and it can be pivotal. It can be traumatic. It can anchor a deep emotional response within them. You never know how someone is going to respond or react to something. So you never want to say, oh, you've only been through that. Who cares? Like, no. Everyone goes through their own stages and levels based off of what it is that they need for their soul to evolve. Okay. So I've just been realizing some of the mental traumas I've been going through my whole life, right? Being raised as a Jehovah's Witness, right, as a child, and then all the way up through my adulthood. And my realizing why mental health is so important to me, why I always want to, I want to speak about it, I want to teach about it, I want to help people get a grapple on their mental health so they can recognize that everything is mental. So as I was having these epiphanies, I was realizing that out of the sake of me turning a new leaf and being a new person and not wanting to, look, I'm smiling because y'all see my light up there over my TV. Okay, you see it just turned off. I say that always happens when spirit is high, but that light's only supposed to be on when my TV is on. My TV is not on. But spirit, like I said, I had an epiphany and the light went off. That was great. But so in my desire to not be lonely, I realized I was lowering my standards and accepting certain people that came in my life that may have had a couple different similarities, things that we may have had in common. And they came around at a time where I was asking spirit for more friends, and then here they go. But it was just a reflection, it was a shadow. As they came into my life, they were highlighting, they were there to fill a need, but at what quality, at what cost, right? Am I compromising just because I'm someone different and I don't want to seem like I'm pushing people away? But no, lowering your standards or, lowering your standards or changing your integrity level is just as detrimental. So I had to realize these people were coming in filling a need, but they were bringing along a whole another boatload of different issues, things that were reminding me of, you know, back in the day when I was living the double life, when I wasn't quite sure what it is that I wanted to go do, when I was shrinking and hiding behind certain behaviors, right? So I didn't want to memorialize that anymore. And then I realized too, I was rewatching a series that I watched way back in the day. And I was just like, you know, I enjoyed it back then. Let me rewatch it, right? Because nothing really good is on TV right now. Man, I found myself watching this show and crying. I was like, oh, bitch, you too invested. You got to go. You got to cut this off. You got to go. Oh, you cannot. You cannot, right? But it was drawing up those timelines, the same familiar feeling that I had from back then. And I was noticing the emotional uh, revocation, not even revocation, but the emotional entanglement, right? And I wanted to release that. And as soon as I did that, as soon as I realized that, and I changed it, it was instantly. I was like, hell no, we're not going through this. Let it go. I grabbed my ethereal spray, right? I have a cleansing spray that I make, just kind of cleanse my aura, right? Because you don't always have time to sage, and you know, sometimes you can't smoke up spots. So I just sprayed, sprayed myself, sprayed my aura, went outside, got in the sun. It was just like, I let that go. I let go of that timeline. I'm not that person, and that's it. And to my husband, I made a decision. I decided I was over it, and that's it. Yeah, instantaneously. Those people that I was holding on to, I was like, yeah, okay, we're done. It's not you, it's me, right? But I chose not to memorialize certain things that were no longer serving me because it was pulling me into a dump, into a slump, into a lump of feeling unworthy. Okay. And your mind, the things that you tell yourself, is so, so, so important. So choose to memorialize the things that you desire, the person that you are. And then another sign that I was getting, I was having a lot of conversations with clients. I was getting a lot of clients that were going through that space of loneliness or giving too much of themselves or staying in a situation longer than they should have or feeling like they have to take care of. And I'm like, damn, like the last 5 people, it's been the same thing. But I know that every time I do a reading or a conversation or interaction with anyone, there's always something in it for me. There's always a message for me, right? Again, the reflection, the shadow. So I had to realize, okay, Chanel, okay, Ascending Infinite Goddess, okay, Goddess Nell, what is it that you really want to see reflected in your life? And are you really setting yourself up in that position to have that really reflected to you? Or are you out here backhanded, back paddling, straddling in the cesspool? Anyway, that's that. That's all I have for you all. I love y'all. I'm grateful for y'all. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for rocking out with me. Thank you for liking the video, sharing the video, commenting, like, gratitude. And if you want to connect with me personally, visit my website, www.ascendinginfinitegoddess. And until we connect again, ascendinginfinitegoddess.com. And until we connect again, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love.